Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We have another video, we have another bunch. So this is gonna be a way we haven't done this for a while. This is gonna be a two-part recording. Because we have six, yes I did splurge a little bit. We've got 6 to go through in this video. 2 of them haven't shown up yet. So there's going to be a jump cut in here somewhere to the next lot. No wait, yeah, the next lot. But we got 4 here today for this section at least. 2 you've been able to buy in the UK for a long time, and 2 I found on eBay and got very lucky that somebody bought over from the States. Yeah, we're gonna finish off this section with those 2. So we're gonna start off. We got a couple different ones today. So we're gonna start things off with the X-Shot Turbo Advance. So this boy is the long boy. It is the long boy. It is pump action. You pump, you spin, you fire. Now this thing has a double stack barrel, cylinder, revolver, cylinder, yeah. So how do you fire the inside one? You got a switch on this side, you flick it down, it's kind of stiff, and you prime away and it fires from the bottom cylinder. I did not think it would do that. So there we go. So yeah, we got a double firing system here. This is removable. This whole thing is removable. So you got a button on that side, pull that forward, and you can just lift that out. I'm gonna flick this back up to the top. So overall, this thing is big. I still don't have a chronograph yet. I'm hell bent on getting a fucking chronograph just so I can test these things. But, you know, standards of practice. You load up your cylinder and then you pull that handle forward. You slide your cylinder in and you line up the air restrictor with and out. Yep. Get in there, please. It's a little finicky. I haven't really done it too much, so I'm still getting used to it, but you should hear it clunk in. Pop that down, and then you can prime and fire. So going from back to front, so usual scheme. Also, if you hold the trigger down and pump very slowly, you can spin the cylinder, because this locking mechanism in here is solid as hell, and it doesn't feel like you should just spin it. It doesn't freely spin, but you know, that's one of them, I guess. Yeah. There we go. So, oh shit me. So, from the front, we got the weird barrel hole, because, you know, shoots from both barrels. We got a little tiny front sight, little front post, little tiny front post up front, to align with the very tiny rear sights that look like factory mold areas, to be honest. These sights not good at all. You're not, but then this is a thing that you're not really aiming with. This is just more of a spray and pray kind of thing. You do get some X-Shot rail on the top as well, and some faux rail on each side. Going down to the bottom, you got the pump grip, which is nice and big. You know, you can really get your hand around it. No backstop on it, so your hand can slide off, but the whole front is separate from the actual blaster. Unlike a lot of other pump actions, where it's like, oh, you want to put your thumb on the front to stop your hand from sliding off. You can't. This, you can. So it's got that distinction at least. You can whap your thumb on the front and, you know, use your thumb as the base and then just kind of cradle the rest of it. Of course, you've got the cylinder release. So that just the button on the one side, pull it forward, pop the cylinder out, pop that back in. Just the overall look of this thing, it definitely looks interesting. It's an look, to say the least. There's a lot of like just greebling and different kind of things. I mean, it's even molded differently on the other side. Like it is an look for a product like this. The grip is really small for what it is. There's no trigger guard as well. There is a hand guard, but that's not particularly great. The grip is actually small enough to where the trigger... I don't really know how to show this, but if I put all of my fingers in a hand guard, the trigger rubs on my middle finger. Obviously, you can just get around that by like sliding your pinky out, but that's not really something you should have to do. The grip overall, though, it's swept back, but not too badly swept back. You know, it's a decent feeling pistol grip. It's just a little bit too small for my fat fingers. This is a 7 and up, so it's made for little hands, but I feel like with that, even little hands would struggle. Prime weight is basically non-existent, which is good, I guess. But yeah, prime weight is very light. It doesn't have slam fire, but that's so that you can, you know, rotate the drum to refill the ammo. You get a lot of space in terms of actual like reload real estate. You get a lot, so reloading shouldn't take that long at all. It is a 40 round capacity, so 20 on the outside and then 20 on the inside, and then obviously once one side's done, you flip the switch, the air restrictor moves. The whole plunger system actually flips, which is kind of crazy. The whole restrictor system flips, which is kind of crazy design considering how cheap this thing is. So it does... I can talk about the ammunition it comes with because I bought this brand new. This comes with the flathead X-Shot darts. These are not great in terms of accuracy. These things do prefer not being in a magazine, and they're not as accurate as even like the other X-Shot darts, which have like the waffle inspired heads. Speaking of, actually, we do actually have some proper waffles coming in a bit. But these darts, they do the job. They are accurate enough. The power on this thing, as far as I can tell, is about stock 70 FPS. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting, judging by, like, again, I don't have a chronograph, so like different other kinds of feeling things. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, Zuru is X-Shot is on like Nerf Elite Pro, Nerf Elite specs in terms of FPS. And speaking, I cannot wait for those Rebel Ops blasters to come out. I probably won't get the two smaller ones, but that Doom Cannon, baby, I am making space to have that thing, because that is bar none one of the coolest things I think I've seen Hasbro make. And even then, like, all of the X-Shot Pro Series stuff as well. Like, I have all three prior ones. So the Fury X, the Longshot Pro, and the Piston Pump. Which, by the way, Zuru, I can see why you called that your best blaster ever. That shit's good. That shit's real good. So, you know, there's a bunch of stuff that could be coming. That's coming out in the US at least in the summer. So we probably won't get that till like next year. Unless Zuru is just like, right, get this shit over there now. Which I do want, because, you know, have you seen any of that new Zuru Pro, like the X-Shot Pro stuff? That shit looks good. Like, the Dart Zone stuff, I know we're not gonna get, because we don't get Dart Zone over here. Which is incredibly fucking annoying, because I really want some of that Dart Zone stuff. I mean, technically we do have something Dart Zone, but it's under the Adventure formula. I don't know. Anyway, back to the Turbo Advance. Fucking, I've really been doing that a lot lately. Anyway, so, yeah. Recommendations. That's what I was getting to. Recommendations. Yeah, if you're looking for something like this, then does Nerf really have anything comparable? Oh, excuse me. I haven't been awake long, excuse me. I don't think it does. About the closest thing I could think of is the N-Series Infinite, and that is not even close to this thing. I guess an Alpha Trooper with a drum? I don't know. If you're an adult Nerfer, yeah, no, don't get this. This grip is uncomfortably small. Either that or like fabricate on a trigger guard, or something, just so that the trigger doesn't rub up against your fingers. If you're buying this for a kid though, this is decent. It's not too complicated to use, so you know, as long as you preload that. But yeah, I mean, it's comfortable for what it is. The pump grip is really nice, so you know, it's one of those. But the trigger grouping is just, it's a little bit too small. My middle finger kind of does rub up against the trigger, so I figured just keep the pinky out and it feels fine. But overall recommendations: if you're an adult Nerfer, don't bother. If you're a kid Nerfer, then this is good. If you're getting this, if you want something that's high capacity and just looks really fucking weird for your kid, definitely go nuts, because the Turbo Advance is good. Do bear in mind, it is, you know, X-Shot. It's Zuru plastic. I mean, there's no... I'm not feeling any general weakness in this plastic. Maybe they upgraded their plastic, actually. Huh. That would explain a lot, though. Especially after the... Yeah, especially after the piston pump. Like, that, in terms of quality, doesn't feel like an X-Shot product. It feels like something different, but it is. So. But yeah, Turbo Advance. If you're getting this for your kid, or if you are a kid and, you know, you got some pocket money you want to spend or something, it's good. If you're an adult, then if you've got smaller hands, you know, if you've got less fat fingers than I have, then this will do you fine. If not, if you've got large hands, then either just get used to having your pinky separate, or don't bother. But yeah, that's the Turbo Advance. And we move on to the largest product, the largest Nerf product I have bought for a while. This is the N-Series Galactic Commander. It's big. And a flywheeler. So, this behemoth takes 6 AA's and has single shot, 3-round burst, and full auto. So it's a select fire blaster. So I'm just gonna pump off. I'm just gonna do like a little bit of each. So single shot, and oh my god, 3-round burst, and then just to finish off the mag, thank you. We're gonna do some full auto. So this beast is, oh my god, that does not feel good. Yeah, this thing comes with 2 magazines, a stock that you can, you know, shove a mag in, fake scope, and a barrel attachment, which is not N-Strike compatible. It's designed a little bit differently, but it doesn't look like that matters anyway, because Hasbro are going back to the Elite darts, which is really good, because M1 darts are not that much better than Elite darts. They're just bigger. Speaking of bigger, this thing is huge. Get that mag out, pop the stock off, pop the barrel off, pop the scope off. This is the main thing itself. You got a single mag release. This doesn't mag drop. There's a lot more friction in there than that. So yeah. So we're just gonna do this base unit and then talk about the stuff after. So yeah, it's a Galactic Commander. The front, you got your barrel lug, and then obviously the shell decoration to line up with that. The top, you got a rail, which is an N-Series rail, which N-Strike technically does work on, but it also technically doesn't. You got a little carry handle as well, just in case, you know, you wanted to carry this absolute unit around. At the front, we got an attempt of a foregrip with a couple of finger trolls in there. With the barrel off, it feels a bit weird, but with the barrel on, obviously, your thumb's going to be on the side. The overall, the barrel as well is fairly long. You got the attachment at the back, muzzle brake up front. You got 2 rails on each side, one on the bottom, none on the top, but that's because this got the big rail, and also a little tiny rail down there as well. So we'll put that on there. It does, when you put the barrel on there, it does kind of complete the grip. But your pinky is, again, your pinky's hanging off. So, not great. Yeah, overall grouping, so obviously Magwell there, which is the N series magazines, and then paddle mag release, which feels quite nice. It feels like there's actually a spring in there and not just some piece of plastic that is like bending. That's nice. On this side, the other side, you've got your battery door, so 1 screw in there, pop that out, 6 AA's, crack them in. Jam door, very tiny jam door, not much access because of the mechanism of N series. And then on the right side only, stop it, the right side only, you get the selector dial. So 1 is semi-auto, 2 is 3-round burst, and then 3 is full auto. So you flick that round to 2, you're in 3-round burst, full auto, and then flick it back up, you're in semi-automatic. This dial does not feel good. It is incredibly stiff going between each mode, and just switching from semi-auto to burst, like you can see that the dial is in the decal, but there's extra effort needed to actually switch it over, which isn't great, but you know, this is for kids. This is N series, so you know, this is 7 and up and all that kind of thing. Yeah, you got your scope, which has a piece of plastic in the front to act as a scope, because heaven forbid we get actual scopes with our toy guns. One thing I do have to say though, the detailing in the shell is insane. Like there's wiring, fake wiring details going through it and everything. And rare for Hasbro, it's all on both sides. Whoa. It's all on both sides. That's crazy. Even the Nerf logo is painted on both sides. Well, not painted, but like printed, because they're doing the X-Shot thing with the color printing on plastic. But like the shell, actually we're looking at the shell of this is crazy. There's a lot of like tubing and wiring and stuff that goes through it. It's all like actually molded in the shell. It is crazy. So the trigger grouping, obviously mag release as we've discussed, rev trigger and firing trigger. You gotta press the rev trigger for the regular one to fire. At the back, N striker stock attachment, baby, and the stock that comes with it is solid. It is fairly solid. And the good thing about this, you can shove a mag in it for mag storage. So, gonna shove that on. It just clicks on, and then button at the top, push that down, pull it off. It's a lot more stable than an Elite stock, but it's not like real steel stable. mag just goes in. There's no mag release or anything. It's just friction fit. So if you do that enough, eventually, you know, it's just gonna fall out. But the good thing about N series is you can just stuff darts in it. You know, you can just top it up. And the mag insertion, not quite as smooth as you'd rather it be, but it is. I'm going to take this off. Let's get in the way. It is fairly smooth. There's a little bit of friction, which I'm sure will wear off as the plastic wears down slightly. But shush. So yeah, I mean, overall, just as a package, this thing, obviously it's huge. Kids are probably gonna, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if your kid looked at this and went, yes please, because this thing, it's big, but it fires quick. There is a little bit of a delay in semi-auto, but like 3-round burst and full. As far as I can figure out, there is very little, I'm not going to say no delay, because the expectation then would be completely false. But the delay isn't as severe on 3-round burst and full auto, because obviously this whole trigger group is electric. There's no mechanical trigger in there for the single shot. So actually, let's see if I can prove this. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. That's the arm, the feed, the pusher. So it's not too bad. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit less on full auto because it's just like, oh, triggers down, okay, go. Whereas it's in single shot, it's like, oh, triggers down, right, 1, and then it has that little moment to think. But you know, it's the primary, it's the big sell for the loadout series, which I'm pretty sure is now nearly dead. Because you also get a pistol stock hole, because some of them, some Nerf loadouts, N series loadouts, come with either a regular stock or a pistol grip stock, which just plugs in and then you've got a kind of like hook. Kind of like the scavenger stock, but you know, instead of a normal N-Strike lug upside down, it's just a clicky clacky pistol grip one. So moving on to the recommendations. If you're a kid, yeah, is good. If you're buying this for a kid, it's gonna do them well. The plastic quality is typical Nerf. Just very good plastic quality, so it can survive a whooping. If you're buying this as an adult Nerfer, I wouldn't recommend it, mostly because N series, as far as it looks from Hasbro anyway, is about done. They've heard the outcry, and they're going back to the Elite Darts, from what it looks like from Toy Fair at least. So you know, whether they actually do stick with the Elite Darts again, or you know, they keep producing N series, or they could have both. They could just have both. But I don't know. I mean, with Ultra being gone and Rival essentially being dead as well, and Hyper just not even existing, and Mega being ignored since like what, 2018, something like that. We haven't had an actual Mega blaster in a long time. on store shelves at least. So, I don't know. I mean, if you're an adult nerfer, then you've probably got something like an Alpha Strike or, hell, a Regulator. Like, a Regulator will do this job. Obviously, the battery situation is going to be different, but, you know. I don't know about modability for this thing. Whereas a Regulator, like, you can do whatever you want with a Regulator because it was an Elite Blaster, so, you know. That's when Hasbro actually cared about the quality of their products. Not that this thing's bad. This thing is good. This thing is really good. But if you're an adult nerfer and like you go to wars and stuff, you're not using N series. If you're using something with like a selector switch, you're using a Regulator. Possibly running on a 3S LiPo with internal mods to make the trigger response a bit better. You're not using this. Because the hobby already has better select fire flywheelers, like, that are a tenth of the size of this. Admittedly, they do cost shit tons more, but what are you gonna do? But if you're getting this for a kid, then if they're a nerfer, then they're probably gonna love this. So, you know, personal recommendation for adults, no. For kids, definitely. The kids are gonna love this, and it makes the revvy noises. So, yeah, that is. Let me see if I can get the grip fixed here. There we go. That is the Galactic Commander, the N series loadout Galactic Commander. That is a long ass name, bro, for a big ass blaster. Anyway, moving on. We now have the two American products, which I got very lucky on eBay being able to find. So, we're gonna go for the Springer of the two next. It's fairly controversial, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up on, you know, the Siren lore, if there even is any lore to keep up with. I highly doubt that there is, but we got the Siren Null, folks. The Siren Blasters Null, which is a pullback, pull forward, high performance Springer that comes with a little 5-round magazine. Now, we don't get Siren in the UK, so eBay has been a great help in getting this kind of thing. These darts, these little half lengths, are not your standard foam. These things are ultra foam, which means that they are light as anything, and the heads are also incredibly squeaky. So, but with this, you know, you load up your tiny magazine. I believe these are Worker Talon geometry. I could be wrong. I haven't really... It's been a while since I've looked at anything Siren related. But I believe these are Worker geometry. I could be wrong. And you got your magwell in there. It's got a skinny pusher, so you don't have to prime it to put the mag in. So you pop your mag in, pull back. Now, this pullback, it says on the back here, I don't know if you can see that, it says push back to fire, because that is going to close the chamber on the dart. This thing has an incredibly tiny barrel, but it hits like a motherfucker. It is... This thing, for the size, is ridiculous. I haven't range tested this thing yet. Mostly because I don't want to damage anything. Because Siren is ridiculously powerful. So, yeah, I mean, just going from... Okay, so we're going to do the usual front to back setup. So, at the front, you got your barrel and your shroud at the top. I believe this is pick rail. It looks like pick rail. I don't know if it is actually pick rail or not, but I believe it's Picatinny. You got your front sight that kind of just slides on, and you got your rear sight, your rear posts, so that you can do the linings uppings. And then you just got the whole just design of this thing, which is insane. Okay, that safety does not feel great. So yeah, you got your magwell, you got your paddle. This thing doesn't freely mag drop. There is a bit of friction in there, but again, I'm assuming that'll just die down as you use it. Very chunky looking, very chunky pistol grip. This grip is really comfortable for what it is. Well, obviously the trigger is just a slide back, and on the left side only, you have a safety built into the grip, so you can't really feel it, but, well, no, you can't feel that safety at all. So, down, obviously, you're safe, and then clack it up, so clack it up, trigger does not move. You got your paddle, your little paddle mag release, which you can, actually, very easily hit with your middle finger, or your thumb, depending on how you want to reload, but, yeah. And then, at the back, you've got your loop for your prime. So very stiff prime, by the way. They say on the box easy prime. This is not an easy prime. But you push that back forward, you pull the trigger, and a dart comes out very ferociously. I'm just gonna fire the rest of these out. Go. Pop that out. It's a little clear 5-round magazine. It's very small. I have tried this in like the Zuru, the X-Shot adapter. It does work, but you have for the Longshot Pro. I haven't tried it in the Fury X or the piston pump, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't even fit in the Fury X because this thing is just too small. But I haven't tried it in the piston pump yet. I might try that and put it up on shorts, depending on how this goes. But I don't know. But overall, like, this is a ridiculously cool product. Also, air seal. So I've primed it, obviously. Wait, hold on. Let's do that again. I fumbled. So. Finger over the barrel. Shit's good, man. Shit's good. Not the best, but shit's good. Like, this is... For the amount of draw there is, it is an insane prime. And it is just a nice... Also, we're going to discuss the trigger brake real quick. So there is no take up, like at all, no take up, and then clean brake. Yeah, this thing is fucking insane. This is not for kids. This is a 14 plus product. Obviously, because it shoots half darts as standard, there's no full dart, full length support in this thing at all. As far as I'm aware, at least, I could be wrong, Siren isn't doing the best in terms of publicity right now, because, like, they sent the reviewers the good products, and then what customers got wasn't exactly great. I don't know. This isn't, as far as I'm aware, this isn't a review sample, and this thing feels solid and works really well. You could probably throw this thing down a flight of stairs and it would look at you and tell you to do it again. The plastic quality on this thing is fucking insane. Like, this stuff is sturdy. It is strong stuff. So I'm not gonna put out a recommendation for children because this thing is not for kids. Not even fucking close. Not even close at all. But for adults, I mean, if you've got worker talons, then I believe they should work fine. The grip's comfortable, so, you know, it's a unit. The Prime is kind of ridiculous, considering the draw on it, but I can forgive the Prime weight just for the performance alone. This thing feels ridiculous to fire. So, Siren, they cooked when they made this. Yeah, it's just insane. It is just...
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah,
Siren Null. Ridiculous little thing, but it's great. I love it. So yeah, recommendation. Not for children. Not even close. But for adults, I mean, that thing is great. So, final one for this section. Well, this look at least. We got the Adventure Force Spectrum, baby! This is called the Spectrum, and I'm on the I wanted to make that joke the whole time. So, we got the Adventure Force Spectrum. Again, one we don't get in the UK. We don't get Adventure Force. I believe Target. I can't remember which one's which. I know that one of them's Walmart and one of them's Target. I think this might be Target. But this is a Dart Zone product. This is Primetime Toys, which is Dart Zone's parent company or something like that. So this thing is a very nutty sounding flywheeler that takes 6 AA's because of, you know, because of that. The performance is insane. So I'm gonna, okay, yep, can't take that off. Right, so yeah, I mean, the profile on this thing is interesting. It's an interesting profile, to say the least. So you get collapsible stock with, yep, it looks like 3 positions, 4 positions. Yeah, fully extended and then 2 notches in between. Fully extended. Fully extended does feel really good. Like, yeah, it's great. N-Stroke geometry magazines, obviously. This thing fires full lengths. So, full length magwell. A very nice paddle release, by the way. A really nice paddle release. Which you can hit with your middle finger, and it does, obviously, freely mag drop. Or you can just hit with your thumb. Which means wicking it is possible. Love that. I love it when you can do that. So I did get this thing secondhand, but it did come with its proper ammo, which is the Adventure Force Waffle head, the Waffle head darts, which are a hobby standard for a reason, because these things are good. So yeah, we're gonna get into this. So stock, removable, and it's got a circular attachment, but you can just click clog that on. Battery door on that side. One screw at the front, 6 AA's in. You get a rather loose fitting scope, but it's a foam dart scope, so it doesn't really matter that much. It's got some plastic in there at the front for the reticle. So, nothing insane. The rail type I am not sure about. I think it's Adventure Force rail, I could be wrong. This whole grip at the front here just pops off and fits on the angled rail. So yeah, slide that on, and then you've got a handle at the front which you can use as a normal foregrip, or you can press the orange button in at the front and flip it down for a wobbly but stable enough handle grip, and then the button on the back releases it so you can pull it off. Once you've got a magazine in, you can't pull it off, but I'm gonna just keep it out of the way anyway. So starting off at the front, we got a very nice, very orange muzzle brake, and then the bumps for the cages, which are also vents because, you know, they're motors, they're gonna get hot. So you want to have the air going towards that. On the left side, you have your jam door. So click that open. There is an electrical cutoff as well, so you can't rev until the door's closed. Trigger grouping. So you've got a 2-finger rev trigger here, which feels good, really good. And then the mag release is a little far out, but I'm guessing they're assuming you're just going to use your thumb for that anyway. So, you know. The grip though, the grip feels really nice. The grip on this thing is really comfortable, nice and chunky. And then the 2-finger rev trigger as well feels so natural. You just squeeze. I'm gonna take that off if it's gonna keep fidgeting like that. So, rev up. Very quick. And fire. Whew. Now we're gonna go over this trigger, because this trigger is real spammable. Like, there's no locks in there to kind of stop you from spamming it, because that shit feels so good. You try doing that on an unmodded Strife, it's not gonna work. The trigger's gonna lock up. But that rev up is mean. So the Adventure Force Spectrum, we're not supposed to have this in the UK. This is a US product, so excuse me, check the time real quick. Okay, but it is ridiculous, and I love it, and I love that I was able to find it. Yeah, this thing just feels great. It's not advertised as a pro blaster, so you can get this for your kids. Your kids are gonna love this just because the trigger feels really nice. Really smooth trigger on this thing. Like, real spammable trigger, and it's compatible with Nerf mags. and Nerf darts as well, so you know you haven't got to go to a whole other ecosystem. The Spectrum just feels really good. It's overall just a really nice feeling blaster. So you know, it feels great. It looks interesting. It's got a look. It's got an look. But I like it. It's really nice. So overall recommendations for a kid. The kid's gonna love this. The batteries are like standard AA's. You know, you can get 100 for fairly cheap or more. You know, you can buy them in bulk. Unlike a lot of other like Nerf products, that's like, oh yeah, it's like either 4 AA's or 4 C's or 6 C's or in some cases 6 D's, and then they don't fucking work after a while. I need to figure out what's wrong with my Rhino Fire. That thing is not firing properly. My Havoc Fire's still working though. But yeah, so you know, this thing is insanely moddable from what I've seen. If you just look up Adventure Force Spectrum or Dart Zone Spectrum mods, then there's probably going to be quite a bit, because this thing has been out for a long time. It's just the UK crowd haven't got their hands on it because Dart Zone doesn't operate in the UK for some fucking reason, except for like some upgrade springs and stuff on Amazon. And even then, that's worker. Yeah, Dart Zone doesn't really operate in the UK, which is annoying because, like, the Pro Mark IV. If there is any possibility of me being able to get my hands on that thing, I want it because it is big and it hits hard and it looks really fucking cool. But back to the Spectrum. The Spectrum, I recommend it. I recommend it. It hits hard enough for it to be fun, and you know, just with the overall performance, it's certainly worth trying to find one if there's any interest from like your youngest, or from from your kid, or even yourself. This thing is comfortable for adults as well, so Spectrum good. Spectrum good. And with that, we have reviewed the 4 for this chunk of the video. They're gonna be a jump cut real soon. So yeah, I have 0 fucking energy right now, but I'm sure by the second half, you know, we're gonna have way more, and we're gonna have 2 more to look at. So I'll see you in the cut. Part 3. Part 2 even. Part 2. Final 2. So, obviously this is being recorded on a completely different day. The camera angle is probably entirely different. I'm trying to do this kind of quick, so I didn't exactly take the most amount of time to set up the camera and such, but it's one of them. But the final 2 have come through. So, we've got 2 elites left for this one. No different calibers or anything, but we've got 2 different types. Neither of these are springers. One is a flywheeler with select fire, the other one is a stringer. It's a stringer. So we're just gonna start with the stringer. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Nerf Elite Crossbolt. It is a bullpup magazine-fed crossbow dart thingy. It's mechanically quite interesting. That's it. It is just a dart firing crossbow. You know, it's string powered, and the only real thing you can hear is the trigger brake. But yeah, so look at it. Looks normal from that up. It's got bow arms, and these are functional bow arms. These are integral to the function of this blaster. So I have a 6-rounder in it right now. It did originally come with a 12, I think, which is surprising considering I don't think you're going to really be using this thing much. I mean, look at that. But I've seen quite a few people moan about this thing in terms of like grips and such, and it's not too bad. This thing is predominantly grip. I will agree with some people saying that the bulkier kind of grip guard bullpup thing at the bottom does kind of get in the way. It doesn't help I'm wearing a watch, but it does kind of get in the way of the wrist a little bit, but not as bad as people make out. So standard practice here, I'm going to go from front to back. At the front you got a hole because they don't need a barrel. There's no compression barrel or anything in here. It's, again, purely string fired, or in this case like elastic cord fired. So at the front you get no barrel lug. You do get a front sight, and you do get the lone tactical rail on this blaster. At the bottom, on the top, moving back, you've got the bow arms, which I don't think unplug very easily, but I'm not entirely sure. I didn't get this thing brand new, obviously. I got this thing second hand, but you know, I'm using the powers of the deductions here. I mean, this thing is 2012, so you know, you got your bow arms, you got your prime grip, which also has your rear iron sights, so you get a decent picture, except for the bump at the front of the grip, and then pull that back, prime it forward, and you pull the trigger. There is quite a bit of trigger take up on this, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's one of them. And then a little bit further back, obviously, you get the grip. The grip itself is comfortable. Obviously, the bullpup designed back being a bit bulky does get in the way, but the actual pistol grip itself is quite nice. Trigger also feels pretty good. It's a real lock up on this. There's a lot of locks in this thing to ensure that it works properly, but trigger pull is quite clean. There's quite a bit of take up, and then a clean crack. Obviously this thing doesn't fire very far because it's a piece of fucking bungee pushing out a dart. So, you know, it's one of them. And if you ever manage to prime this thing without anything in it, which is quite impressive, considering there's a lot of locks to be in there, then you're gonna have to shove a mag in and pull the trigger. This thing is so mechanically complex. This motherfucker has 2 jam doors on it. The initial jam door at the back, you know, the proper one, is obviously the magwell, so you know, if anything's going wrong in there, you can get your finger in. And then this one, I don't know what this one's for, but I'm guessing it's in case the actual bolt holding the thread kind of kicks off on you. Although, so you can kind of manually cycle it, but you have to. Oh shit! Okay, you can't manually cycle this. Balls. There we go. So it kind of half catches, but... So you've got the top jam door there, which prevents something from happening. I don't know what it does. And then at the back,
You've got a very plain mag well. It doesn't mag drop, as far as I'm aware at least. Oh no, it does. Okay. But you stick your mag in. Your mag release is back here on the center line, so it is fully ambidextrous. I don't see what people are complaining about. That's quite comfortable in terms of positioning. You know, you can just thumb it, pull down, stick it back in. It's nice. Might as well fire this last dart. There we go. So yeah, stock overall, it's a decent length of pull. You know, it's not insanely uncomfortable to crunch on. The stock itself, fairly comfortable. You do also get a built-in sling loop in the back, as well as one on the grip. Overall, I mean, if you can find one of these with the string not completely worn, this thing is actually kind of cool. You know, if you like the aesthetic of like a crossbow, but you want like a high capacity, you can, I have tried it, you can stick a 50 round Titan drum in here. Not that you'd want to, because your grip would basically be like that because of the drum. So I think 18 round sticks at most. Personally, 18 round sticks at most for this thing. This thing does also kind of fire half darts. You do have to kind of cheat the built-in locks a bit, but it will fire them if you are that hell-bent on firing half darts. And yeah, I mean, I've heard so many negative things about this crossbolt, and you know, it's really not that bad. You know, it's a stringer or a quarter, I guess. Nah, it'd be a stringer. It works well. I haven't had any issues with like cycling or anything. So you know, it's nice. It's quiet. It points really well, and it's mag fed, so you haven't got to worry about like, oh, I've got to, you know, fill up a cylinder or something, and then no, you just pop your mag out, pop another mag in. So quick reloads are also viable on this thing. You can kind of wick it. I mean, you kind of have to get a certain technique down. I figured like the flick, maybe. There you go. The flick kind of works, but you know, it's one of them. So overall, like overall recommendations for kids, maybe not, because obviously there's a lot of mechanical locks in here, and you know, you break one thing, you're probably gonna break the whole thing. Which is why I'm not going to try and prime this thing with an empty mag, because I don't want to mess anything up. But yeah, I mean, for adults, you're probably not going to want to use this, but you know, the stringer option is there. If you want a crossbow, if you want a mag-fed crossbow that shoots the elite darts and Asterix half darts, then, I mean, yeah, if you can find one where the string isn't completely screwed up, or, you know, you can replace it or something, maybe with some paracord or something just to get a little bit more power out of it, then, I mean, yeah, go mad. This thing is obviously not meant for competitive in any sense of the fucking word. This is purely as like a, for fun, or like a, I don't know, maybe like an HVZ or something, you know, humans versus zombies kind of thing. You just, yeah, you target shooting. I mean, I like it, because I like dumb stuff, and y'all know I like dumb stuff. I mean, there's a Titan back there to prove it, and there's just a bunch of other random shit in this bedroom. Anyway. But, yeah, I mean, the crossbow, it's good. It's good. If you're gonna get this for a kid, maybe give them an explanation of it first, before it's just like, hey kid, have this. Like, no, you're gonna have to explain this to them first. And if you're an adult, then if you want a crossbow, it's about as good as you're gonna get in the Nerf hobby, from Nerf at least. There's probably a few crossbow-esque things that the hobby's made anyway, but yeah, it's the crossbow. I mean, I like it, so yeah. And finally, the big Mamba Jamba, the one I've been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, this absolute unit, which I'm gonna take all of this shit off of when I'm done filming this, is the Nerf Modulus Regulator. So yeah, we got a lot of shit with this thing. So I'm just gonna pop all this stuff off. Oh, Jesus, that's so on there. There we go. So this is the Modulus Regulator by itself, of course. So this is Nerf's this is basically Nerf's introduction to Select Fire. Obviously we had the Galactic Commander in the first half of this video, I believe. In the first section of this video, or yeah, I think so. That's the evolution of this. This came out in 2016, runs off of 4C batteries, which are insanely expensive nowadays. And yeah, it's Select Fire. So, got a 12 round mag here. So I'm just gonna demonstrate the Select Fire first. So, got a switch that is on both sides, fully ambidextrous of course. All the way down is single shot. Alright, do another couple. And then middle position is 3 round burst. Okay. And then fully up, the final position is the classic full auto. And I ran out of darts in the mag. So we're just gonna swap mags from the storage stock, which has a mag well on it and a place for that, hence storage stock. I'm gonna swap that out, and we're just gonna full auto mag dump this mag. Alright, blinking light on top to tell me I'm fresh out. I'm just gonna waggle my finger in there to stop that from blinking at me. So, yeah, the mag. Oh, this mag might actually be a bit loose in terms of the follower, but I ain't gonna worry about that. So, this thing comes with a lot of stuff. Obviously, 2 12 round mags, which mine are second hand, so they're not the tightest feeling, but they still feel pretty good. You've got a grab handle barrel extension, which has the lug at the front and the lug at the back to attach to stuff, and also have stuff attached to it. Handle does spin the full 360, so you can, you know, yeah. We got, oh Jesus, okay. There we go. And we got a, I think they call this the long range barrel, which has got the attachment on the back and on the front, so that you can, you know, wrong way. You can do that. And it's also got a rail mount on the bottom to, you know, sit on an end strike rail. Jesus, these style of rails are tight. There we go. And then we got what Hasbro called the scope barrel, which has obviously the lugs on the back and the front, a rail clip on the bottom and a rail on the top, and they show it like that, and you can slap a normal scope on there as well, although funnily enough they designed it perfectly to line up through the peephole in the grip, in the carry handle. Now, that is kind of ridiculous. The mount also on this one, so that you could have, I guess, a longer faux scope. I don't know. Get off there. Okay, there we go. Wow, this connections are tight. So, yeah. So obviously, we're going to go through the blaster itself now. So at the front, you got the N-Strike lug, and a rail at the bottom, rail at the top. Jam door, same as the Hyperfire. So you flick the switch back, pull the door up, put it down, flick it back. Got a magwell in there, and then you got the selector switch, which again is on both sides. Battery door on the left hand side, as I mentioned, 4C batteries, and then this on top will blink when you don't have any when you don't have any darts in your mag and you need to reload. That doesn't stop. That does stop blinking after a while, but you can just kind of fumble your finger in front of the dart sensor and shut it off that way. It's got a N-Strike stock attachment on the back. Here you can plug the stock on. The stock is a little short for my liking, but it is still quite nice. And as obviously as I've shown you, you can, you know, store stuff in there. Hence the name storage stock. But I personally, I'd just run it like that, you know, with the mag in there, and then the other mag. I wouldn't bother with the barrels, but I kept them just to, you know, show on camera, because it comes with it, all that kind of thing, so it's one of them. Yeah, so you can kind of scale that out and imagine how ridiculous that could look. I mean, there you go. That's entirely unnecessary, but it can be done. I'm definitely getting rid of it. But the stock, you know, it's nice. It's nice. Getting on to, oh, you can almost John Wick that. Can you mag drop? You cannot mag drop. So moving on to the overall ergo of this thing, it's long. It is a long boy. The grip feels like the standard Elite grip, so quite comfortable. Nothing really insane there. Rev trigger feels good. You've got your mag release in the trigger guard itself, which I do quite like. Obviously, I would rather have a thumb one down here, but I'm guessing they'd have to figure something different for that. So this technically is a foregrip. I don't know if this is actually a foregrip, but it feels like a foregrip, and it's the direct center, so I'm guessing it's just some way you can carry it, because you know you're gonna want it like that so you could control the front, unless you really just do not mind having your grips insanely close together. The selector switch as well feels solid, very confirming, just really nice overall. Yeah, I mean the overall of this thing, it performs pretty good when the mags aren't like old. Like the springs are slightly worn on these ones, unfortunately, but that comes with storing darts in them. But yeah, I mean, the actual look of the regulator as well. I love the look of the regulator. It just looks really sleek, really nice. You do have a knuckle front. What is it? Is it a knuckle guard or something? But that does not get in the way at all. It feels, you know, you got plenty of space in there. It's really comfortable overall. Yeah, just this whole platform feels real good. Yeah, it just, yeah, that feels good. That feels nice. That's the first time I've tried that. But yeah, I mean, the Modulus regulator, it's Hasbro's attempt of bringing decent select fire to their range, and I think it does a decent job. Obviously, this thing's a flywheeler, so the mod path is crazy. The single shot and the 3-round burst are electrically controlled, and then the full auto is, you know, hyperfire style with the cable, the channel going through there. The single shot and the 3-round burst will all act on just the smallest amount of trigger pull, so their cycles will complete with just the touch of the trigger, and then obviously full auto, the conveyor spins as long as you've got the main trigger held. So, but yeah, I mean, for a kid, this thing is definitely going to be fun. Slightly unwieldy, I think. I mean, it's not massive like some other stuff in this room, but it's one of those things where it works really well, and it performs solidly. So yeah, I have nothing really negative to say about the Modulus regulator. It is just a solid performer. Runs smooth and just comes with just enough stuff for it to be like, all right, you can, you know, mellow out now, Hasbro. I mean, they say that barrel is supposed to be a scope, but I don't see that. The carry handle thing, though, the carry handle thing is really cool, because you can put this on anything that has a barrel lug on the front. So you're probably not going to get as much use out of this as they intended, but it is still cool, you know, to have. And if you're not using it, you can just plug it in the top of the stock. I won't be keeping this on there, as well as that. But yeah, I mean, this thing overall, as you saw, performs fairly well. And yeah, I just haven't got anything to say. You know, it's great. It's just great. It's a solid first attempt of select fire in the Nerf hobby. So yeah, I mean, it's just good. You know, if you can find one, then yeah, kid or adult, go for it. It's comfortable, for me at least. It's comfortable. Yeah, the rate of fire, I don't really care about rate of fire, like, but it's good stuff. So yeah, that is it. Yeah, that's it for those two, and that's it for this video. So yeah, that was the longest one I've done for a while. Had to record it over a couple of days, but you know, we're used to the separate day recording sessions now. So yeah, I mean, that's it. So yeah, I mean, it's good. I can't think of what to say right now. So I'm just gonna say thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so that you don't miss when I next upload, which probably won't be for a while because I am fairly skint. But don't miss the next upload either way. I don't know what is going to be in that one. It's more than likely it's going to be a Lego video, because there's a couple of things that I've been wanting to get my hands on, and you know, I'm going to showcase them, because I mean, this channel has been built on showcasing the random shit that I've got my hands on over the years, so you know, it's one of them. But I will see you guys in the next one. Again, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you don't miss when I next upload, and I will see you all in the next one.